Hello guys, this is Eduardo Stefan from Aprender. Today we will talk about the number one obstacles that most people have when they start a business. Okay, so stay tuned. By the end of this video, you will know the role that mindset plays on the success of your business. This is really important. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I would like you to write a comment about how your mindset has impacted your business by growing it or making it fail. Most of us was raised to think like an employee. We went to school, we learned some skills that were important to work in somebody else's business, but we were not raised to think like an entrepreneur, right? Let's talk about money, for example. Many of us, in many of our households or homes, we wouldn't talk about money. Many would say that money brings problems, or what we would see would be our parents fighting about money, or that money is not something that is good. So all that was implanted into our mind from a very young age. Therefore, that's what we know about money. What we know about money is basically that is not something that will bring happiness, that it will bring trouble, and that people fight about it. So why would you want to have money? Why would you want to be successful about or with money if that would bring you problems? Would you? I wouldn't. It is important to understand that it's not enough to have a great tool to be an excellent or a great carpenter. If you want to have, or if you want to make a great work, you have to know what you're doing. So the tool is important, but to understand what you're really doing, your mind, or what is in your mind, it is really important. It's even more important. Let's, for example, think of somebody that is a carpenter, but doesn't know how to use a hammer, or a screwdriver, or whatever tool they use to carve and make some of the beautiful work that they do. It doesn't matter if they have the best tool available. If they don't know how to use it, they won't be able to produce good quality work. The same goes for us. If we don't know how to think about money or how money works, we will never ever be successful, because money leaves a footprint and we have to follow it. In the world of money, it's not what you don't know what is keeping you poor. It's what you know what's keeping you poor. As T. Harv Eker said, the lack of money is never ever a problem. A lack of money is merely a symptom of what's going on underneath. That is a really powerful statement, and it's really important. All the statements that you heard and received when you were a kid, like for example, do you think money grows on trees? Or what? Am I made of money? Or what? Do you think that I have to work harder just for you? Those statements shaped who you are and how you think about money. Therefore, those statements are making you poor right now, because those are the ones that you use when you relate to money. If you want to move to a higher level of income and success, you have to be willing to let go of all thoughts and all, thinking, because that's what's holding you back. And if you let go of those old ways of thinking, you will have to adopt new ones. Therefore, it is not enough to be in the right place at the right time. You need to be the right person in the right place at the right time. That's what's going to make the whole difference. Because if you are not prepared to face the challenges of having more money, you will not be able to receive more money. As I said before, the lack of money is never the problem. It's just a symptom. Therefore, your programming lead to your thoughts. Your thoughts lead to your feelings. Your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. Therefore, if you alter those thoughts, your results will be much better. That's why it's important to be able to move away from limiting thoughts and beliefs that were taught to you by people, your parents or whomever, a long time ago. There are basically 3 elements of change. First of all, awareness. You can't change something unless you actually know that exists. Therefore, if you don't know, if you're not aware that you have a problem with money, you will not be able to change it. The second element of changing is understanding. By understanding where these thoughts came from, you will be able to recognize and actually change them. If you don't know that you have these thoughts and you don't know where they come from, you won't be able to change it. Therefore, it's really important to be able to understand where those thoughts come from. The third element of change is disassociation. Once you understand where those thoughts came from, you can start to disassociate from them and start to choose to think in a different way. That way you can decide if you want to hold on to those thoughts or you want to move on and start thinking in another way. And maybe based on your results, it would be good to start changing those limiting beliefs that didn't take you to the place you wanted to be. Now you can see that this way of thinking is really all of the information that you have stored before. And you can start realizing that it may not have or hold any value for you anymore, and you might want to change it. If your motivation for acquiring wealth is coming from a non-supportive root, then your wealth will never bring you happiness. Those sources or those non-supportive roots are like fear, anger, or just to try to prove yourself. Those thoughts will never bring you happiness. If you're always saving for a rainy day, guess what? You're gonna get lots of rainy days. But why not save for a happy day? Or save for freedom? You have to believe that you are the one that creates your success or your mediocrity. Therefore, you have to start moving away from mediocrity. And you are the one that's creating those struggles around money. And only then, when you start realizing that you are the one that's creating those struggles, only then you will start to begin to move away from those struggles and on your path to creating wealth and the life or lifestyle that you want to create. Another important point is that rich people focus on what they want. Poor people focus on what they don't want. And that's a big difference, because if you focus on what you want, you attract that. And if you focus on what you don't want, you attract that which you don't want. Therefore, if you want to get rich, focus on saving, focus on assets, focus on creating cash flow. Now, if you want to get poor or stay poor, keep on focusing on those stuff that won't create any wealth, like shoes or clothing or anything that won't create any cash flow or any assets. If you keep on thinking the way that most people do, which is have some money and go and spend it in shoes or clothing or whatever there is that brings you temporary happiness, you will never start to move ahead. There's many people, good intentioned people, that is really poor or middle class, but never fulfill or get to their financial goals because they don't know how to change their situation. Right now you've made the good decision of starting your own business, of being an entrepreneur. And that's something good because most millionaires get to be a millionaire because of a business that they create. Well guys, many of the thoughts that I just shared with you came from the book of T. Harv Eker, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I hope it was helpful for you, and I encourage you to subscribe and leave me a comment of what you think and if your mindset have affected the way your business has grown or not grown.